Hello, I'm Christopher Herring. I'm with Global Chamber Texas. Welcome to our meetup. Today, we are excited to be with you to get you updated in terms of what we're doing here in the great state of Texas. And we have some good information to pass on to you. We have some special introductions that we're going to have today. We're going to go around the room so everyone has a chance to introduce themselves and give your elevator pitch, because that's so important to your business. I do want to say that as the executive director of Global Chamber San Antonio, Austin, and Houston, we are excited to welcome aboard a new executive director in Laredo, and that's Rachel Trevino. So Rachel, say hello to everyone while I play with my little screen here.
All right, you get yourself situated. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. I see what we have a few people right now. So yes, I work with Chris in the San Antonio chamber as well as a chair there. But we're excited about Laredo because the economy in Laredo is just as influential to San Antonio and to Texas and really to us all. It impacts every single one of us. Everything that happens down there on that US border impacts every aspect of our life. So at some point in time, we can kind of get into the paint on, how that is going to influence you guys individually and collectively as a populace. So it's great to be with you guys.
Thank you so much. And so you will see updated flyers that will have not only my face, but her face, because she's representing, and we're just happy that we have a new executive director down there. We're going to talk a little bit about what's really going on in Laredo. When you think about it, they have a very, very, very busy port. It's the busiest port in the United States. Right, Rachel?
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
So we talk about global trade, international trade, commerce. Laredo has been like an unsung hero for so long. And I'm happy that we're able to bring special attention to it, because we have to know how to navigate with global supply chains, logistics management. This is so important. So great decision that our founder, Mr. Brunke, bought Rachel on to take on that market, because it's truly a rich market with a lot of things going on. So while we're going around the room, I would like for, I'm going to start with CPS Energy to get us started today, because they always have great information. And, Ms. Brooks always keeps Montreal on point. So take it away, you two. Take it away. Ms. Brooks, you're going to have to talk to him already. Can you hear him?
Montreal.
See, that's what I mean. Got to check him already.
Good morning. I'm Sharon Brooks from CPS Energy. I'm the other clerk. I do the material new process for the registration.
So can y'all hear me now? This is why Sharon keeps me on point right here.
Hey.
Go ahead on, Montreal. Go ahead on.
All right. And see, Sharon, this is why I should be in the office instead of working from home today on the Friday, right? Sorry about that, everyone. But again, my name is Montreal Harris. I'm a coordinator with CPS Energy. And again, hope everyone had a good holiday and we're good up for the weekend. Chris, Chris, great to see you at the Juneteenth event, man. It was definitely a pleasure to finally meet you in person as well. I guess a couple of things we have on the pipeline here at CPS Energy is we have a monthly supplier development workshop. That's coming up Wednesday of next week, Wednesday, June 25th. And that's from 9 a.m. to 9:45 Central Standard Time. And I guess to get registered for that, I'll put my contact information in the chat, but just shoot us an email and we can get you on that list to be a part of that workshop if you would like to attend. And on the workshop, myself, I'll be going over, I guess, showing you real time of how to register and do business with CPS Energy. So I'll walk you through each step of what it looks like when you actually go into the portal to register for both of our vendors systems. And I also have a colleague that speaks about the subcontracting part. And here at CPS Energy, if you're awarded an RFP, we require the awardee to report the use of subcontractor payments. And I have a colleague that'll walk you through each step of how to do that when you're awarded an RFP. We also have a community vendor fair for our WT Montgomery Community Center service that we have coming up, and that's going to be June 27th, which is next Friday. The time for that one should be between 8 a.m. and 10 for that one, and that's June 25th, June 27th, next Friday. So let me get the correct date. June 27th, next Friday. And for that one to just be for our prime contractor, which is Flintco on that project, just for the subcontractors, we're looking for subcontractors, and it's just an opportunity for y'all to connect with the primes and just get a better relationship with people working on this project and just better opportunities moving forward. So we're going to have that one. And we also have our networking breakfast that we have each month with UTSA down at our headquarters, and that will be July 10th. And that's our next biggest one. That'll give you a real-time feel of just meeting us down at headquarters. This one is going to be more of government contractors. So if you interested in that and just want to network and get a feeling, we also have breakfast and coffee, and you can come check us out with that as well. And that one is July 10th. And I believe that is a Tuesday. And and Chris, I've sent all this information over to you as well, to your email to get that out. But with that one, that's powered through UTSA. So you have to go to the UTSA Center of Government Contracting to be able to sign up for that event. And that's pretty much what we have coming up down the pipeline today.
Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Miss Rachel, I don't know if you're on our distributed list on the Laredo, Chamber of Laredo. Is she, Mr. Chris? Because I'll put on there just coming up next week. But she be able to get some of those bid opportunities down that way.
Thank you. Yeah, Global Chamber Laredo. So
Okay.
if you notice in our global chamber, we don't use certain words like so it's not Global Chamber of Laredo. It's like Global Chamber Laredo or Global Chamber San Antonio. And that makes us distinct in the marketplace. And so that's what's up. Thank you so much. And on the 10th of July, see if you can add me as a guest speaker at the UTSA event. Can y'all make that happen? So at least I can say some words to that group.
We'll ask Suzanne and see what she can say. What do you think, Montreal? We'll do that for you. We'll try it. Yes, no problem.
So Chris, Suzanne, like I say, it's powered through UTSA. We just house it and help put on everything, but I could definitely run it by or get you in contact to see, because they normally have a guest speaker each month, and I believe we just had the hubs on last week, so I'm not sure if Saul's or somebody else specifically is for this month. But like I said, I can definitely reach out to Suzanne with that, and we can see about getting you on.
I appreciate it. And also, I'm going to try to bring Attorney Pitchland. If you remember, Attorney Pitchland was at the Juneteenth event, and she actually specializes in government contracting. And she gave a great pitch about how she'll represent businesses and take a look at some of their RFP replies that will make them more successful in being able to do business with entities like CPS Energy or Bexar County or SAWS or even UTSA. So I'm going to try to bring a high-powered, valued person to the table when we come on July 10th in San Antonio at your location at CPS Energy. So thank you. I'm going to come back to you because I have a special person who I want to introduce you to. So at this point, I would like to go down to, not always leave my beloved wife for last, but I'm going to bring her in right now because sometimes she has a client that she has to attend to. So Tanessa, please unmute and let's introduce yourself and what you do. Please take it away.
Hello, can you all hear me?
We hear you perfectly.
Perfect. Well, my name is Teresa. I am part of Evolve Medical Group, and I am the medical esthetician here. And so I want to share with you all that we are having our ribbon cutting next week on Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. And I'll put all this information in the group chat. We are located 206 27 Huebner Road, San Antonio, Texas. And so what we do here is we do a lot of peptide therapy. We do hormone therapy as well. We do pre and post care for menopause. And we do a lot of different types of services as well, from weight loss to Botox and lip filler. And one of the most important things that we also do is we also take care of our veterans, people who have a lot of joint pain and are looking for some type of relief other than what they're receiving at the VA. I provide services from facial treatments. I specialize in problematic skin. And so what I do here for the medical clinic is I do a lot of PRP and also a lot of skin analysis and consultations when it comes to problematic skin. So hopefully for those of you who are in San Antonio, y'all can join us next week on Thursday from 5 to 7. We would love to have you there. And I think that's all I have to share with you. Thank you so much.
Well, so before you go away, so talk to us about why it's important for people in business to take care of their health.
Well, first and foremost, your health is your wealth, right? And so when it comes to us networking or even marketing or having someone do it for us, we want to make sure that it's a good presentation, right? So for all of you beautiful people on the screen, you are the face of your business. And so what we sell is change, and we sell beauty, and because beauty sells, right? And so when I talk to people when they're business owners or they are speaking for a company, make sure that, you know, all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. And it comes from a lot of different things, not just your aesthetic look, but also the presentation, right? From self-care. We talk a lot about self-care and self-awareness. And so just like you all business owners, I'm always looking for someone who's open to change, to open to something different. And so that's what we do here. Not only talk business, but also the face of your business, right? So that's what we do.
Hey, thank you so much. And, you know, I was looking at Robert. Robert has this, like, he has this beard going on that's really awesome. And you also know, you said beauty sells, but for a man, because, you know, Robert's a man. He's a man's man. But also men need care as well, right? Talk to us.
Well, we do a lot of gentlemen's grooming, right? And when we talk about gentlemen's grooming, it's really the aesthetic of a person, just to clean you up from your eyebrows to, you know, the nose hairs. And so when you talk about speaking to somebody, it can be a little distracting, you know, when the nose hairs and the ear hairs are kind of like sticking out. So what I do is kind of, you know, primp and prep you for you to be able to not only present yourself, right, but, you know, look the part. So I know it's kind of hard for people to, you know, admit that they need a little bit of help or want to be able to address certain things. Like we do laser hair removal for men and women. And so, you know, if you want to be a hairless cat, I am your person. But also,
hey, I'm going to change topics
also,
now.
Because we have a lot of men on this screen. And so, you know, when it comes to shading or even your own self-care, we talk about folliculitis, or even if you're having problematic skin, or how can you reduce breaking out. A lot of times it's really changing out your razor or, you know, doing a few little different things. And yeah, that's what we do. We also talk about nail care, right? Because the first thing people do is, well, at least I do, I will look at someone's hands and just kind of look at their overall upkeep for themselves. And so what we try to do is help people be more aware, especially if you are the face for your company, right? And you all are all talking to people, stuff like that. So, you know, we do a lot of grooming across the board for men and women. We do Botox as well, a good deep skin cleansing also. And so this is what we do. We sell aesthetics, we sell change.
Thank you so much. Hey, this is an adult programmed global chamber. So the hairless cat is the hairless cat. Now, let me say this. I love you guys. Wow, you threw me off on that one, but
right, I think I threw everybody off.
Yeah, I'm good.
But this is what we do, right? So
I'm going to somebody else right now. I surely am. But thank you so much. Evolve Medical Group has been super supportive of the Global Chamber office out of their offices for almost a year. And so I'm always grateful. But I do believe that your health is your wealth. And I want you to remember some things. I had a bout with stage 4 cancer and was able to recover, thank God. but I do know that whenever I'm out presenting myself as a representation of the global chamber, people look at me and they could never tell, because I really have been dedicated to try to bring myself back to great health, and God is good. And so, with that being said, I have a pressure because I'm married to a medical esthetician. And so if I'm out of, she'll say, hey, I saw a couple hairs on the Zoom. And so you look, I have super, super, super pressure on me, but it all comes from a place of love. So with that being said, let's transfer down to, I see Edgar. Edgar, please unmute.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing today?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody, for the invitation. So I am part of Alfra Engineering Group.
Oh.
So I was invited by Francisco and Armando. We are here. So we are becoming a new member of the chamber. And yeah, we are already in different states of the US providing staffing services. We are engineering and maintenance staffing services. We provide support to different kind of organizations that they are struggling with the challenge of the workforce shortage, right? So we have been doing this from the last 5 years. We are different locations. We are in Michigan, in Illinois, different cities in California, and Kentucky. And now we are going. We already have office in San Antonio, and we want to expand our network and see how we can support the organizations in the Texas area, right? In different San Antonio, Houston, and all the locations that we can provide support.
Well, I'm so glad that you gave the introduction to, and your CEO is in the room. So let's go to Francisco, my man. Thank you for joining us, aka Paco online. If you can unmute and just share with us, and then I also see that Armando joined us, and so I'm going to give this time to you. I am so thankful that we have a new member of Global Chamber, Alfra Lean Advisory. They provide services that are just phenomenal for this time. And as was just said, whenever there's a staff shortage, staffing solutions that are needed, engineering solutions, this is the go-to company. And I've been doing introductions already since they've joined, trying to make some warm connections. And I think, Armando, you've seen that there's some replies so far, right? And so we're trying to make a difference up front with this company as we introduce them into the state of Texas. So Paco, please unmute and just share with us a little bit about who you are and your company. Thank you.
Hello, Chris. Can you hear me?
Hear you great.
Oh, perfect. So it's nice to see you again, and thank you very much for give us the opportunity to join to Global Chamber and give us the opportunity to stay here today with you. Just to talk about us, in the last 18 years, we have been doing consulting basically in the Toyota production system. We have been working with the bestseller of the books, but also with the top management from Toyota, the former Toyota president in Japan and presidents in Kentucky, and also from NUMMI, California plant and managers. So we have been learning from them and teaching to the tier ones of the automotive. 5 years ago, as Edgar said, a company called to us and say, hey, I'm not running the third shift. I cannot run the operations because we have lack of people. Can you help me with some technicians and some engineers to fix our broken machines, and also to make some improvement in the machines and make some improvements in the plant with automations, visual control, visual systems. And then we say yes. So we started that journey with Armando. Armando at that time was working for another company as a director of a Toyota Tier 1. He's a very competitive director. So he helped us to find the right skill. And then we started with 4 plants, 3 different states. And later, we just call them by our customers. And our job is basically to support the companies to produce more, maximizing the resources and with less cost, because basically the cost is not that expensive, competitive with a similar cost if they hire someone from the States, but sometimes they do not have the right talent in the right place at that time. So it's basically us.
Great, great. Yeah, so that service and the ability to be able to move people quickly to where the work needs to be done is exactly what I think we all need, and what your company provides. I'm going to let your Armando build into this conversation. I know that he was on the road this morning extending the brand, but please introduce yourself to the Global Chamber.
Thanks, Chris. Can you hear me?
Hear you great. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for this invite. We're glad that we go with the Global Chamber. I recently moved to San Antonio, so I'm here locally. And as Paco and Edgar, as Francisco and Edgar told, we have been working on this for 5 years already. A little bit of my background: I mechatronics and mechanical engineer with a Master's of Science in the automotive engineering, and I'm supporting Alfra also on the filtering of the technical staff. So you can make sure that they are very well prepared. Like we do a very good filtering, and if you have the need of like engineers, mechanical engineers, or mechatronics engineers that can support controls and maintenance, you can consider us as your best option in San Antonio now. Okay.
Thank you. And so we do have a meeting at the end of this month, and one of the companies, actually it's a public agency that we'll be introducing you to, is CPS Energy. Mr. Harris greatly accepted the opportunity to extend, what he does with CPS Energy. Mr. Harris, can you just go a little bit into more detail in terms of what y'all do at CPS Energy, and then maybe the process by which a new company that would be introduced to our area, like Alfra, would have to go through in order to get set up with CPS Energy? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And hey, Mr. Armando and Ms. Paco, it's definitely great to meet you too. I'm not sure if you already received my email, but I definitely already reached out to you. I'll get the process rolling. So the biggest thing, as I said, I'm a coordinator with the supply development, and what we do is just to ensure all the vendors that we get registered are just maximizing on all your opportunities working with us. So the first process that we initially do is getting you registered, and we have 2 vendor systems that you register under. One is our informal one, which is our supplier registration portal, and that is everything, all our solicitations under $50,000. And our second portal is our supplier management, and that's all the solicitations at $50,000 and above. And we always promote to get registered in both of our vendor systems just for better opportunities. And and as I say, it's a pretty straightforward, thorough process. I've sent the registration link, but once you click on it, it'll basically each registration portal is a 4-step process, and it'll just basically ask general business information, I guess just address, capability statements, and just a few things just to make sure we have about your company to get you registered and have everything up to date. But the main thing we say that you have to do when registering, make sure your business name matches up everywhere, and also your business email and what we call NAICS codes. Always make sure those are compatible with what your company does, and always make sure your email is accurate. And once once we get those steps pretty much solidified, we get you registered in the system and just start building on your profile so you can get those opportunities that best fit what it is that you the services and I guess goods that you all provide.
Thank you. And we also know, so CPS Energy, I've done a number of different projects with CPS over the time that I've been in San Antonio. And I know that they have a huge following in terms of subcontractors who do work. And some of these introductions that we'll be looking for is not only with CPS Energy, but also recommendations of which companies that are currently working with CPS that would be good fits for maybe partnering and working in collaboration. And so we'll be looking for those things when we come to see you as well. So just get prepared for that and know that that's kind of a part of the expectation. I think that that kind of concludes that component. I would like to ask, because I see that there's an iPhone on, and I see that I see Ray. I don't know if Ray is busy right now, but I did want to see if they had anything to say before I jump back to Rachel, because I want to talk to Rachel about AI. And Rachel needs to introduce herself, not only from being the leader of Global Chamber Laredo, but she's also the president CEO of a AI firm called Extreme. And so I would love for her to expand on that. I have not seen either Ray or the iPhone unmute, so we will go to Rachel.
Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate all the presentations so far. Alfra, it's great to be on the call with you guys. Kind of a company after my own heart. My background is I graduated from an engineering school in my degrees in logistics and supply chain, and the other portion of my degree is marketing. So when it comes to the mechanics of things, my father was a mechanical engineer, a physicist at the university. He taught the PhD students. So I've kind of been indoctrinated and raised. They're from San Antonio originally. So we're a very proud Latino family in that. A lot of people in my family are engineers, NASA, DOD. So basically what Extreme does is, I used to work for Tony Robbins. I became his top producer. I've interviewed over 10,000 of his business owners, captains of industry, leaders in their field, people who are trying to get to the next level. And so I noticed some trends about getting to the next level because I was able to interview so many different industries and so many different extreme versions of CEOs, C-level management people, C-level executives. So I've been doing full-scale strategy since that time. You take the degree in marketing and logistics and the systematizing of things, and you couple that with being a top producer for the world's leading sales and marketing firm. And so what I like to do with companies is to create the logistics, the supply chain flow of sales. So I kind of like to think of us as a digital Berlin Wall for a company. So what we're doing with AI now, and what everybody needs to kind of get prepared for, is how are we using technology to leverage ourselves? What is AI going to do? People are very concerned, right? Of course, you hear AI, you hear automation, you think jobs are going to be taken, and yes, that is true. But I will say this, when the IRS brought in all they got rid of, their accountants to do, all the robots doing it. What they had to replace the accountants with was technical people. So it's not that jobs, if we do not, here's what happens. Yes, your jobs will get replaced if you do not embrace AI and learn how to innovate and how to increase knowledge base, right? Because we're all going to be able to learn a lot faster. I do say people are going to have a lot more free time on their hands to learn these things and to level up in skills. What we do since my time with Tony Robbins, I grew up a competitive swimmer. I've been, extremely healthy my whole life. I like to couple peak performance with technology because, we're all trying to be great and to innovate and to be the best that we can be, not just for our industry, not just for our peers and our counterparts, but for ourselves. And so I like to couple peak performance, how to optimizing your health. And so we do a lot of innovations with healthcare now. We have a couple technologies that are replacing the EKG. They're going to set a new industry standard in being able to assess and monitor patients' health, which means that we can become a society that is healthier than we currently are. And Lord knows we need that right now. As CEOs and C-level executives, as people who are working more than 40 hours in their businesses, we need to revamp our health outcomes, because we know, sadly, that South Texas, San Antonio, and below, we don't have the best health outcomes here. So I like to see the balance of, not just innovations and strategy and, systems to leverage your business. I like to see that approach in how you can do the life hacks too, the biohacks to your internal gears and systems. So that's kind of who I am, what we do. If you have any questions about AI or about the industries that we think are going to be the most impacted or how they're going to be impacted, by all means, do let me know.
Thank you, Rachel. Hey, and if you're in San Antonio during that last week of June, I think the June 30th, love to make the introduction to the leadership team at Alfra. They will be here. The CEO will be coming from Monterey to San Antonio and spending a couple of days here so that he can really get acclimated with this new city. We're excited here in San Antonio. I tried to extend the network of the city of San Antonio, the International Relations Office, Bexar County, CPS Energy, just to get a start at looking at the higher levels of what this market here is. It's very interesting. Unlike Dallas, unlike Houston, unlike Austin, San Antonio is a municipally run city, which means that government really is the voice for the city, as opposed to big businesses in those other major cities. And that's kind of the narrative of one of the cities in Texas. And your narrative down in Laredo is a little bit different as well, meaning the people who are in Laredo definitely are into the exports, receiving, imports, and the global supply chain management that really happens there. That really speaks volumes for what happens in Laredo. I do want to shift over to Robert, because I haven't asked you to unmute, but I did talk about your outstanding beard. So, and as Rachel wanted to say, she said, your health is your wealth. So I guess that's a theme in this, but she didn't say it, but she wanted to say it. But Robert, let's go. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
Good.
So my name is Robert Quinn. I am a semiconductor industry influencer. I'm the oldest influencer out there. I have been in the semiconductor industry for over 28 years as a field engineer. I've traveled the world working on atomic layer deposition and all the cool equipment that we use to make these computer chips today, the ones that you see behind me here. I'm in Austin, Texas. I work for myself. I have a business called Quinn's Media. I do a lot of different things. I have a lot of different clients. I'm on my way to Washington, D.C. to go speak with the Department of Commerce in the Smart USA conference next week. I've had the privilege of flying around the world and lecturing at universities to speaking with the royal family in Oman about the semiconductor industry ecosystem and where things are going with this technology and where things are what we're doing. I write and talk on LinkedIn. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, you can go over here to the messages and I'll put my LinkedIn connection there. You send me a connection request. I'd love to connect with you. I have about 12 million people like to follow my LinkedIn content. I write and talk about the industry, where things are going, and the technology, and what we're doing. I'm also kind of multiversed in the sense that I also have a nonprofit organization called SIMU, Semiconductor Industry Mobile Education Unit. And so we're in a big deficit right now. We are doubling the size of the semiconductor industry in the next in the next 8 years. Average age for senior engineer right now is 50 years old. And there are very few STEM students in the pipeline right now for filling these roles. So we've got everybody from the President of the United States all the way down is looking at these issues going, we've got a big problem because we've got to fill a lot of roles coming up here in the near future. So I have not my being a field engineer and having traveled the world in this industry and working in this in this industry for so long, I've always thought we have to give the kids the aha moment, the oh wow, this is so cool. I want to be a part of this. And we do. We're engineers. I mean, we make things boring, right? And so I've wanted to give that spark to kids. And so my vision is to build a 52-foot semi, an 18-wheeler that travels around the country, expands to 1,000 square feet. The walls pop out, an air-conditioned space where you can tour 700 students a day through this unit, and this unit could pull into high schools and middle schools around the nation, and tour these kids through this unit and give them the aha submersive Disney World experience where they're going, I learned about semiconductors and they're so cool, and I want this to be my career for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And so that's kind of my vision there. I teach a lot. Right now, I'm taking kids to the J.J. Pickle Lab at University of Texas. We're bringing kids into the clean room and striking plasma on tools. It was funny. I was actually asked to speak to the royal family in Oman about the semiconductor industry, and one of my friends said, you don't educate royalty. And he said, well, this is like a day before I'm leaving, right? And like I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? And I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to talk to the royal family the same way that I talk to my ninth graders. And I'm gonna, so I told them, I said, listen, these machines that we work on, they pumped it onto a vacuum of 10 e to the -9 torr. That's deep space vacuum.
Wow.
We're injecting a plasma as hot as the surface of the sun. We're exciting the molecules inside of these chambers, and we're now making transistors at 3 nanometers.
Hmm.
We've gone from a single transistor that was this big to a single chip
Hmm.
that has 2.6 trillion transistors on it.
Wow.
We're stacking atoms to make chips today. And so where this technology has gone in the last since 1954 to today, and where it's going where it's gone is that following Moore's law, if you're familiar with Moore's law, and where this transition of technologies has gone. But now where it goes in the future is just absolutely parabolic. Now we no longer follow Moore's law as far as computer density of transistors. Now we go into things like neuromorphic computing, where we're following the architecture of the brain to figure out how to increase computational power to these chips. So it's fun to talk about this semiconductor industry, the technology, where things are going. I have a lot of different clients and that are helping me. I was actually asked to go speak to the Global Chambers in Arizona at the university there, and that was fun. I flew out there and had a good speech there. But yeah, enjoy being a part of the community, and it's fun to talk about technology and where things are going and what we're doing there. So
you excited the whole room. You know what? I wish
Yeah.
that I could turn back time just a little bit and start my education all over again, because I should be an engineer.
well, I got a story to add on to that.
Go ahead.
I'm a high school dropout. So I dropped out of high school when I was like 17 years old. Of course, I build hot rods, right? So I'm extremely mechanically inclined. I like to build old cars. I've done it since I was 14 years old. And one of my friends here, he got a job at Applied Materials. He was like, Robert, you would be so good at this. You have to come apply for a job here. So I applied for a job at Applied Materials in Austin and got the job. Of course, I excelled. Before I know it, I'm running the manufacturing line, and Applied Materials put me through college. So yeah, and they put me through college, and just excelled that way. But yeah, it's funny the education routes that we take in the way that we use our talents.
Dear
Look,
Christopher, may I ask a question to Robert?
yes, you may.
So Robert, nice to meet you first, and very interesting that you are in the industry of semiconductors, because we are actually also going on that direction, because we know that there is a challenge for the future of the people, of the professionals working there. And I want to ask you, as internal person in the industry, which one you see which more challenges? Because I see, okay, materials engineers for semiconductors. I see programmers, developing the soft. and the other part is the running machines and running the manufacturing process for semiconductors. So which one of these three you see more challenging?
Well, I'm mostly involved. I've been doing, of course, equipment engineering for my whole career. So I mean, that's what I know the most about. And but I study a lot about the physics. The things are going to change so dramatically. Material AI actually changes material science. It alters everything that we know. And so like the way that we design chips, the way that we the substrates that we use to make chips today, I totally believe will be altered, and we'll be laughing at this in 10 years from now, going, wow, I can't believe we were actually making chips that way. So like it all changes. It really does. Whether it's the design, now we're going into neuromorphic computing where it's different architectures, where we're using different architectures of the brain. We're even using physical brain matter to copy the synapses of the brain to make computer chips today. I mean, it's the research and development and what we're doing and the technology that we're doing. It absolutely is crazy. I love also studying and reading about the biomed. I hear a lot of people that are in the medical industry, the biotechnology industry is going to absolutely be flipped on its head in the next 10 years. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But yeah, I can't say I could really pick one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is my same issue, because I see the three of them very equal. They are complementary, and I was trying to see if there is like some kind of trend in some area, but I think the three of them will be challenging, and they are really in high demand.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Robert. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Robert, great to meet you. And we're going to have more conversations, because I'd like to get you plugged into some of these colleges, universities down here in San Antonio, and we can talk about other areas that you want to delve into. But
yeah, I've lectured at Notre Dame University and Sao Paulo University, around the world. So it's fun to really, and it's funny because real quick, I was in Munich at the Semicon West, and I was sitting there at the CEO roundtable, and somebody said to the panel of 7 of the biggest CEOs in the world, they're all sitting in front of us, and they said, "What do you think about neuromorphic computing? How is it going to alter the industry?" Well, neuromorphic computing is a new technology, but I mean, it's running AI today. So they all 7 of these CEOs, they all looked at each other and said, "What's that?" I said, "Oh my gosh, they don't speak our language." So how do you speak a language where you're speaking CEO, CTO, engineer,
Hmm.
and ninth grader at the same time, right? And so that's really what I try to do is I talk in a language that everybody understands and try to tell a story to where, everybody knows what you may not know what 10 to the negative 9 means, but I can tell you it's deep space vacuum. You know what that means. You may not know what that plasma is hot as the sun, but now you know. All of a sudden you feel like a physicist. And so tell a story to where people can understand it, right? And that's what I really try to do in my writings, and and talking about the technology in the industry, where it's going, for my 12 million people that are following what I'm writing.
wow, we thank you so much. And again, I'm going to connect with you. I think what I've learned in Global Chamber, and look, some of you may go to other Global Chamber meetups. This is the Texas one today. And we do it within an hour. So we try to give everyone the chance to speak and to be heard and to share. But there's no other meetup like a Global Chamber Texas meetup.
Yeah.
We try to keep it fresh, exciting. You guys are all storytellers. And I'm actually thinking about it right now, how to take y'all on the road, because between Rachel and Robert and my Alfra company, and look, this is good. At the same time, we have to be able to convey the passion about what we do. And I think that's what draws people to us and allows us to be able to share our messages around the world. So as you think about Global Chamber and your experiences, and I even know with Global Chamber, we have a lot of investment in the semiconductor industry. I'm sure that Doug Brunke has had conversations with you already in terms of how we bring together a semiconductor Globinar series that really impacts and focuses on those major semiconductor companies, and we bring it together. But if how long have you been in the Global Chamber, Robert?
Not very long. I was speaking with Doug, and he asked me to go speak at the event in Arizona, and so it's just been like 6 months or so.
Right. So that's what I mean. But you will be blessed by participating in the semiconductor component, and then also for people like me and Edgar, who can pick your brain about all different things. This is what it's all about. So we're all each other's resource. No matter where we are, we can help. And I think that this is what forges great partnerships. And I did see a person came into the room, Valerie. Valerie, are you there? Can you speak? Can you show yourself? Because Valerie has helped to lead the Global Chamber Austin for Global Chamber as a deputy director, and she's been so influential. But she's also a migrant where she goes from Texas to California, and she does some amazing things there. But Valerie, are you available? Valerie? No? Okay. All right. So at this time, any of you have any questions for anyone who has spoken? So that way you can ask those questions that you've been thinking about, that you wrote down. Rachel.
Yes.
So when you're looking at your market in Laredo, what do you think are some things that which you'll need support on? Do you have companies that you're thinking about trying to partner with in order to expand the vision of what Laredo may even have? I tried back in the day when Global Chamber hired me back in 2017. I used to go down to Laredo. That was one of my markets. But the sheer distance was a little bit too much. So what are your plans? What are your plans in the next 30 days, 60 days?
My heart's always for my people, be them, the Latino community, the people of South Texas. Like, we have to put our city, like, we're the home team, right? So from San Antonio all the way down to the border, there's just too much going on for us to turn away from it. So again, my heart is after kind of the logistics and the processes of things. So how do we impact the economy locally? And I think we have to really put an emphasis on manufacturing. I think that that's how we win. We win from an economic standpoint, we win from a talent standpoint, we win from our, the next generation. How do we empower our children? Texas is one of the largest economies in the world right now. So we have a lot of eyes on us. My goal is to make us the AI capital of the world, right? If our economy is this big. So I want us to lead the charge in those conversations. Of course, we can start from manufacturing and what's happening on the import exports. There's hundreds, almost 1,000 Fortune 1000 companies that move in and out of Laredo. So we have to bring those companies into the fold further, but we have to attract more businesses into our economy, both here and south. I guess, you're San Antonio, Austin, Houston. I'm like San Antonio because I live here all the way down south.
Right. So we'll come up with a strategy that will be able to attract those thousands of companies that are down there, so that there's some value added component with Global Chamber that they can't refuse to join the Global Tribe. I saw Khalid in the room, and we only have a few more minutes, so I wanted to recognize him. Would you like to unmute, sir, and tell us who you are and what you do?
Sure. I'm the MD here in Orlando, Florida, and as speaker after speaker already said, that you need to get updated on the AI. So although I'm in the real estate business here, AI is penetrating just about every
registration fees for your 6,000.
Oh, can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as a speaker after speaker says, AI you need to be updated on it, connect with the major players in the industry. So in my estate, it's trading very fast. So I'm on a call today to update myself. Great speakers, great knowledge, and I look forward to reconnecting with everyone. If any of you are ever down here in Orlando, Florida, please look me up. I'd be more than happy to take you out to lunch, dinner, and discuss the potential and possibilities here. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us all the way from Florida. Thank you. You know, next week, we're going to have a global chamber real estate webinar that was just put in the chat. And we also have a very dedicated group of women who meet with Global Chamber Women, and they talk about issues that impact them in the marketplace around the world. So please sign up for those events and know that every month we have our virtual online meetup, just like we have here. And believe it or not, sometimes we'll take snippets from these meetings and we'll take them and put them in as like awareness or advertisements so that other people can actually experience the warmth that's in the room and the topics that we discuss. This is all about creating warm introductions for you as members and the ability for you to give your elevator pitch, connect with people who can connect you with other people who can further your business. And so I take great pleasure in being able to host you and to do this. And I know that now that I have a new sidekick with Rachel, who is an ED, who can actually talk to you just as well and probably better, that it'll be just great. And so thank you, Rachel, for accepting the call to be an executive director of Global Chamber down in Laredo. And I thank each of you for joining us today. I was not able to connect with Valerie, even though I want to hear her speak for a second, or Ray. And they're not moving to unmute. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for your time today and look forward to our upcoming visits with Alfra Lean advisors, because they really have something that's very timely for our marketplace. And I'm taking a great joy in seeing the response of bringing a new company coming out of Mexico into San Antonio. Does that make sense? Everybody good?
Everybody's great. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you, CPS Energy. Always salute you, and I'll see you on July 10th. Hey, my birthday is on June 25th, so you can cash at me. You can No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I see that online on social media all the time. People be saying, I'm like, nah, you never cash at me. But just pray for me, and I'll pray for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Thank you all.
Have a great day.
And everyone, have a great day. Enjoy a
Thank
great
you,
weekend.
Chris.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Let's keep semiconductors alive. There you go. All right.
Take care.
Thank you, Armando. Nice to meet you, Edgar.